A massive display of support as U.S. Coast Guard members pay tribute to those heroes lost on 9/11. Nate Rogers brings us this exclusive report.
Bill, we're aboard a famous class cutter, one of the same type of ships involved in rescue efforts during 9/11. From the bridge to the forecastle, 100 U.S. Coast Guard members lining the rails, paying homage at two times, 8:46 and 9:03, the same times two planes struck New York City's Twin Towers, September 11th, 2001.
The Coast Guard will never forget what happened on 9/11. The Coast Guard was here that day, the Coast Guard responded that day, and it was a defining moment for our service.
The 270-foot cutter Bear was a part of today's showing of support as it typically patrols offshore. Lucky me, I got a chance to hop on as it sailed along the Hudson River. The multi-mission ship has rendered 65 operational deployments, major drug seizures, and countless search and rescue operations.
We have multiple capabilities here. We can launch small boats with boarding teams, and we can launch helos. We can refuel helos, recover helos.
Perhaps a lesser-known fact, the U.S. Coast Guard coordinated about 500,000 evacuations on 9/11 as folks became trapped trying to leave lower Manhattan.
So you can imagine in the chaos, the roads were congested, and then they also had to close down the subways. So the water was the most viable option to get people out of the city.
The mission is considered the largest sea evacuation in world history. And to learn more information about the U.S. Coast Guard's involvement during 9/11, you can go to my Twitter page at Nate Wants to Know. In New York, I'm Nate Rogers for Chasing News.
Thank you, Nate. Later in the show, continuing coverage of the 18th anniversary of 9/11. How people literally gave of themselves in tribute to those who lost their lives that fateful day. And why all of this hits a little closer to home for one small school in New Jersey.